I was in my early 20s and I was living with my grandma. I was going out most weekends and partying most nights. It was a rebellious stage. I tried to be respectful, but I'd go on nights out and not go home till 4 a.m. and she'd be on the sofa waiting up for me. I got into a relationship which was sort of my first. Sarah was white, British, and it was all a bit of fun. 3 months into the relationship, I remember getting a phone call from her to say that she was pregnant. Everything had just stopped. We thought she had polycystic ovaries and couldn't get pregnant, so we hadn't used protection. My first thoughts were, what do I do now? Who do I tell? And if I'm honest, I told her that she wasn't having it. I didn't want a child, but because of her condition, this might be her only chance. So I said, okay, whatever. My friends thought that my life was over. I had to sell my car, find a place to live. It was a lot of unknowns. Growing up with my grandma, she had done everything for me. Cooking, cleaning, washing, and now I've got to figure this out all for myself. I feared losing what I had, my car, my lifestyle, and being broke. I was really selfish. I waited a long time before telling my grandma. She didn't even know I had a partner. She just thought girls wanted to take me away from her. And when I told her this, she said, "This one will definitely take you away from me now." I sold my car, we rented a property, and we moved in together. It wasn't the greatest idea due to how I'd been brought up by my grandma. Sarah had the same issue, so the house was chaos. As the birth neared, I got crazier and crazier, doing more and more partying. I thought I'd better get it all done before the baby arrives. On my daughter's due date, I was on a night out drunk. My mentality was, well, you're the mum, it's your job to do the child's work. And I demanded that she did courses to learn how to be a mum. She was only about 19 years old. Because I was living like that, there were a lot more problems. The house was always messy and there was no support. Everything was moving so fast and my expectations and the reality of the situation was just so far apart. When Eva was born, I didn't do much at all. I might do fun things, but I never changed nappies. I remember very clearly the sleepless nights and being woken up by the crying. I would ask, well, what do you want? You give them a toy? You change their nappy? What is it you want? What do you physically want? You'd play around with her, you'd hold her, you'd literally do everything to try and get her to stop. At that point, if I was doing anything as a dad, it was in front of my friends to show off. I had a wet the baby's head party where I took the baby to the pub. What was the reason for that? Your baby's not even 3 months old and you've had the party, you've taken her to the pub and you're drunk and your partner has to look after them. There were certain things with the Hindu culture my grandma and members of my family wanted me to follow. But I don't follow tradition or the culture, so the argument started. My grandma expected certain things and we didn't want to do them. My grandma saw it as Sarah trying to tell me what to do. There were all these demands about how you should raise your child coming from all so many different angles. And I didn't even know what I was doing. I just wanted to make it through the day. Even though my grandma was who she was the only person I had in my life after my mum had passed, and I really cared for her. I've always wanted to impress her. Eventually, she spent most of her time with Eva. Sarah went back to work, and that was when it started to get better. My grandma had Eva every day, and Sarah built a positive relationship with her. Looking back, I would tell myself to care more, to be more involved. There aren't jobs for just men and women, they're jobs for both of you. That connection with your child has to be there from day one, because later on when they're older, it will impact them and their behaviour towards you. I want to change those things I did, and just to be there more, to be more involved. My daughter is 15 now, and she's queen of the house. We live together, and I stay consistent. I drop her to school every single morning, even though she's 15. She's literally by my side all the time. It's like I say, I'm learning to be a parent. I'm not qualified, and I will get things wrong. I'm learning how to be a dad, just like you're learning how to be you.